Hello. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I'm like that fucking James Corden. I'm on every channel. That's what it feels like. Yeah. I think is that three nights running? Was I here last night? No, I wasn't here last night. No, I wasn't because I was at the AC/DC concert. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be a short one. Good evening, folks, or good evening, folk. I think we've got Craig in. Evening, Craig. In fact, we've got two on Twitch. Fantastic. Yeah, Twitch is it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. I mean, it's like when you start with it's like when you start on YouTube and people complain about having like one viewer or one subscriber. You've got to. The only way you're going to get known is by doing stuff, and hopefully people will eventually follow. So yeah, thanks for joining me tonight. It's not going to be a long one. I've got probably half an hour. I've got half an hour because yeah, what have I been up to this week? Yeah, apologies if you've heard all this already because if you watched any of the two streams that I did a nice and nasty with Andy Walker, and then I did a really good Sid show. And I'm not saying that because I did it. It was just the quality of music was something else. And yeah, that was on whatever day it was, Tuesday. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Um, yeah, last weekend. I can't remember what I was doing on Friday. Doesn't really matter. And on Sunday, I've mentioned I've got a very small part in a film that's coming out, going to be coming out next year. Um, I've not got a speaking line. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing, but I don't have a speaking line at all. Hang on, what's going on here? Manage your channel directly from your phone. Are you having a laugh? I can't manage it using my PC. Um, yeah, I've got a part, what's it called? An essay supporting actor, um, in a film that's coming out called Powder, and it's a gritty, gang-based drug war affair type thing. I was saying that to a few of the people. I says, why is it that eh, all the kind of the short films and indie films that are getting made, they're always about violence, about drugs and violence. Yeah. Why is that? I mean, I know we're as a human being we're obsessed with things like that. But yeah. Anyway, I've got a small part in it, and I was we were filming on Sunday, and on Sunday morning I was through at my girlfriend's house. Sunday morning, I sat up in bed, and the whole place started spinning. My eyes, everything that I could see in front of me was just moving. It was like the best way to describe it. If you've ever been in a like a merry-go-round in a children's play park, that's what it was like. My whole everything that I could see was just going round and round and round and round. It's horrible, really horrible. And my first thought was, "What's wrong with me?" And I panicked. I'm like, "What the hell's going on with me?" Um, and then I lay down and I thought, right, is it just been like a one-off? And I sat up again and it did the same again. Lay back down and then it did it for a third time. And at that point, I was getting really concerned. I'm like, what the hell is this? What's going on with me? So I shouted my girlfriend and she came through and she said, I think you've got vertigo. And I always thought that vertigo was a fear of heights. That if you're walking along a high building, you go, "Oh, that's vertigo." It's not. Vertigo is where your brain or something tells your brain that you're moving, but you're not. And it's the same feeling, but 100 times worse. If you've ever played a VR game and you've got the sort of movement where you're holding the joystick and you're sort of like gliding forwards, it's the worst feeling in the world. It's like that, but like 10 times worse. Um, and yeah, I thought Vertigo was Fury Heights, and it's not. So anyway, I had to then go to this film set. We were filming. It's actually quite amusing. We were filming in my local town, right next to where I used to grow up, went to school, and there was a lot of standing about, and I didn't feel great. I felt shit, if I'm being honest. But stiff upper lip. The show must go on. The show must go on, so to speak. So yeah, I managed to last the whole day, and when I got back about 6:30 on the Sunday night, I just felt completely shit. I felt really, really ill. Probably not helped to the fact that it had been really warm. It was a really warm day. I was dressed in black, so that didn't help. And then plus factor in the fact that I've got vertigo. So yeah, on the Monday morning, I phoned the doctor. I was meant to be going to Swindon on Monday and Tuesday this week, but I text my boss and I says, look, I'm not going to be, I can't travel. I can't travel. I'm not going to get on a plane feeling like this, because yeah, I ended up being sick. It's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible thing. So I phoned my boss or I text him and says, like, I'm not coming down. So then on the Monday morning, I managed to get an appointment. I seem to be very, very fortunate. Our health centre, if you phone at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're almost guaranteed an appointment that day. Whereas I know most other people, it can be weeks. It can be weeks before you get an appointment. So yeah, I managed to get an appointment at 10 o'clock. Went down, and he just says, "You've just described vertigo." He says that's exactly what you've got. There's no cure for it. Apparently, it can happen to anybody at any time. They don't really know what causes it. What they think it is in the inside your ear at the back. You've got the ear canal, then you've got the eardrum. Behind the eardrum are three little sort of tunnels or tubes. Yeah, tubes are not tunnels. And inside these tubes, there's little crystals, and these crystals are apparently what keep you upright. They give you a sense of balance. But what can happen through anything at all, a knock to the head, sitting up too fast, they don't know what causes it. These little crystal things become detached, and they start moving about. And when they move about, you think you're moving and you're not, and that's what causes it. And the only thing they can do is there's a series of exercises where you sort of like sit in the bed and you have to fall to one side, whatever, and that apparently helps it. They don't know whether it actually helps to kind of put the crystals back to where they came from, or whether it just kind of gets you used to feeling nauseous. So I don't know. I mean, that was Sunday. It's now Friday. I still don't feel 100%. I would say I'm probably 70% better, maybe 65%. Still feel a wee bit not quite right, but nowhere near as bad. So that was that. So yeah, I didn't go to Swindon. So that was Monday. So Monday, Tuesday was pretty much written off. I think I was going to do a video on the Monday night, and I thought, no, I'm not going to bother. In fact, I think I did a video on the Tuesday night. Um, Last night I was at the AC/DC concert in Murrayfield. Fantastic gig, really, really good gig. I mean, these guys are I think they're in their 70s now. Angus Young, Brian Wilson, Brian Johnson, Brian Wilson. He's the bloody Bee Gees. Uh, I don't even know the name of the other guys. I think Malcolm Young, his son, is in the band, and I think his nephew is also in the band, possibly. I don't know who the drummer was, never seen him before. But you know what? Typical AC/DC. Brian Johnson's voice isn't what it is what it should. Sorry, isn't what it should be. It's not what it used to be. But the guy's in his 70s. Let's actually have a quick look and just see how old he is. In fact, yeah, I'll just use my phone rather than dicky about with the computer and then mess things up. By the way, if this I have had a few issues with this thing called Restream, which allows me to make a single stream and it goes out on YouTube and on Twitch. Um, I've had a few issues with it. If it does fail and stop, I'm not going to restart it. That'll be the end of the waffle, and I do apologise in advance if it does do that. Right, let's have a look. Brian Johnston. Brian Johnston is 77 years old. Holy shit. He's 77. And I'll tell you there, he jumps about like a madman. He jumps about like a guy half his age. So complete respect to him. Wow, 77-year-old. I mean, there's people 10 years younger can hardly walk. So yeah, I think what they are doing is they're keeping themselves fit. And let's see how old Angus Young is. That's pretty cool. If you type in Angus, it immediately comes up with Angus Young because he's the most famous Angus. Angus Young is 70. That is incredible, and he was on stage all night, and he did his big solo, and he jumps about. Yeah, interestingly, Brian Angus Young has a fear of heights. He's got vertigo. Yeah. So there you go. But that great concert. Coming back was a bit of a nightmare. Obviously, you've got I don't know how many 60, 70,000 people all trying to get into a single train. Well, not quite, but there or thereabouts. So that was that. Tonight I'm obviously doing this, and then later on tonight I'm actually going to a gig, another gig. I could have probably done with having an early night, knackered. Going to see a group at the Edinburgh Fringe. Yeah, that starts at 10 o'clock. So we're going to be getting the train about 7:30. Half seven? Oh no, I'm picking my mate up at half seven. So yeah, that's that. Saturday, well, I can talk about what I'm going to be doing later on because that is next Friday's waffle material. So I've not got a huge amount to talk about. I did have a comment. Let's have a look. I did get a comment from. In fact, let's just talk about a couple of things I want to talk about. I mentioned the Spectrum Next on when I was having a chat with Andy Walker, and this is the third Kickstarter appeal. Is that an appeal? Is that what they call it? I don't know. It's the third Kickstarter, and apparently it is in size. It is pulled in. Is it 2.4 million pounds? Evening, Keith. 2.4. I mean, we're talking about an old computer. 2.4 million has been pledged for this thing, which is apparently more than the first two put together, and that really astonishes me. Um, for a couple of reasons. The main one being when the original Kickstarter came out, obviously everybody in Aranti that was into the Spectrum and myself pledged. We got our machine, and then that was back then. There was a lot of these things. I mean, what was it? The Spectrum Vega, whatever, which was a complete. Is it the Vega? Was that what it's called? Spectrum Vega? Can't remember. Anyway, it was. Yeah, it took in something like £800,000 and nobody got anything. It was a complete and absolute criminality. It really was. So people are kind of cautious about kind of funding, putting money to these kind of things. So yeah, it was quite impressive that so many people bought into it. But then I think when people who didn't pledge realised how popular the first one was, when they saw the machine, they thought, oh, I like that, I want a piece of that. They then had a second Kickstarter, which I think was bigger than the first one. But what then? Yeah, and then this third one, what what I can't get my head around is who is actually pledging it? Who's buying this? Because surely the first two would have like mopped up everybody that's going to spend what 350 quid on an old computer, especially given the fact that the Spectrum came out 6 months ago. It offers kind of the same experience, and you've got all the games, whatever, and that was like 90 quid. So I'm really, really genuinely perplexed as to who is actually pledging for this third one. I've put my name in it just because, well, you can pay it up over 3 months or three separate payments. And I know for a fact that these things you're going to be able to, if I decide that I want to sell it, I'll be able to get my money back 100%. I mean, apparently it's going to have a Commodore 64 core built in and an Amstrad. Um, it'll be nice to have an Amstrad core because yeah, I've got the Mister obviously, but that's nice. So it's some nice kind of extras. Plus, I think it's going to be more powerful than the other two as well. But um, yeah, I'm interested to know where all these additional people came from. Because for it to be, I mean, if you imagine the first two, there must have been duplication. There must have been people that pledged both of them. So who is pledging for the third one? And the fact it's more than the two of them put together is mental. Keith saying, as someone who's been dealing with vertigo on and off since my teenage years, I can only sympathise. It sucks, but doing careful movements does help wonders. What do you mean by that, Keith? Doing careful movements? You mean don't suddenly bend down, don't turn your head very, very fast. Um, how often I've been asking anybody that's mentioned vertigo because I want people to tell me I'm going to be all right. Um, how often does it come and go? Do you find there's a girl at my work actually has got it and she said she can have it and then she can go for 3 years and have nothing and then it can come back for a wee bit and then go away. Um, I'm interested to know. So, do you find is it one of these things that you've just got constantly? Do you find, I mean, where it's most noticeable is when I'm in my bed and I turn round when I go from like lying on my right side and I turn over to my left. Is when I turn over to my left, it starts to wobble. Now, I don't know whether that means when I'm on my left, my right ear is pointing up. I don't know whether that means it's my right ear that's got the problem or my left ear. But I've been doing these exercises all week, and I think it is helping. The doctor did say that it should kind of ease off on its own as well. But yeah, it's horrible, absolutely horrible. But any tips or any advice at all, Keith, would be massively appreciated. But yeah, genuinely intrigued as to know who is actually funding this, who's pledged for this spectrum, because the number of people, and I was one of them, the number of people that bought a Spectrum Next, and then 6 months later they say, "Oh, I'm selling my Spectrum Next." Um, Sorry, that's what it's like for me. Do you mean it can come and go? You can go for 2 years without it. I think I think I'll be all right with that. I think now that I know what it is, whilst it's still horrible, it's a horrible, horrible thing. I'm able to handle it better because I understand what it is. Whereas when it happened last week, I was quite terrified actually. I really didn't know what was going on with me. I thought, have I had a stroke or something? Really didn't know what was going on. Um, but yeah. Oh, thanks, Keith. And do you do these exercises where you kind of lie on your side and then you flop over anything that you've got? Even you can private message me on Discord, whatever. That would be good. So yeah, interested in that one. Talking to like crowdfunding and kickstarts and all that bollocks. Apparently they're bringing out a Vectrex Mini. Hmm. Yeah, there's my Vectrex there. A mini version of that. We're obsessed with, or the sort of retro gaming community is obsessed with retro. Sorry, not retro. We're obsessed with mini systems. Yeah, we brought out the mini Commodore 64. There's been the Atari. There's been the Amiga. There's been, well, the Spectrum's full size. What else has there been? There's been mini SNESes, Mega Drive, PC Engine. I think there's even a mini Sharp X68000, but I don't think that's never actually been released in the UK. I need to actually look into that. But yeah, there's a Vectrex Mini. I've been reading quite a few comments about it. Some people are very much behind it, very positive about it, and then some people have been very negative. I'm kind of sitting on the fence. The problem with the Vectrex is it's really expensive to buy. Because they're so old, they're very fragile. They are extremely expensive. I mean, you're probably talking 400 quid. to buy a Vectrex. And you could buy one and it could stop working, you know, like any old kind of hardware. That's why I don't use that thing very often. Um, so that's the kind of downside to having an original Vectrex. And a positive about the mini one. The two things that I'm thinking, is the size. The Vectrex is not the Vectrex is not the biggest machine in the world. I mean, it's quite a small screen. Would I want that any smaller? No, because then if it becomes, you can get away with a mini Commodore 64 or a mini Amiga because it's just it's a physical thing. The games look the same. The game comes out on a 52-inch TV, so it looks fine. The problem with a mini Vectrex is the screen is the screen. So a tiny little screen is going to be tiny. It's going to be like playing on my mobile phone. Um, it's going to be a bit of novelty. And the second thing is it's not using an original vector monitor. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. Raster interrupt. I don't know what it's called. That's maybe the wrong one. Um, and the thing is, the original vector monitor is the selling point. It's the unique selling point of a Vectrex. Um, and without that, it's not a Vectrex. And I mean, the thing is, the emulation on Vectrex emulators now is a lot better. In fact, I would say one of the best ways to play a Vectrex, although it's probably no longer available, was on the original. It'll not have any battery in it at all. I don't think, will it? Is it going to have any? I don't even know where the bloody thing is. Just give me 2 seconds, folks. Give me 2 seconds. This is where technology has gone mad. I remember queuing. Um, I queued outside the Apple store for about 10 hours to buy an iPad 2. Right, it's highly unlikely this has got any battery. If this has still got battery power in it, I will be impressed. I don't even know what this is. I think this is an i. Look at that, a 16 gig iPad. Yeah, this isn't going to have any batteries in it. If it does come on, I will be really impressed. Wow, it's powering up, folks. Right, let's see if it works. So I've got that's an iPad 3, and this is an iPad 2. Let's see if this is going to come on as well. No, that one is dead as a doornail. There is nothing. I fully expect that one to go off as soon as it comes on. Anyway, yeah, there is an emulator on or an app, a game, whatever you want to call it, for the iPad, and it's beautiful. It's done really well, and the vectors look really nice on an iPad screen. I think it's because it's got really good like brightness or contrast, whatever it is. But even emulators, even like the what do you call it, like RetroArch, the Vectrex on that looks all right. It looks all right, and yes, some people are going to say, right, I don't know, this is obviously reset. That's impressive though. It says hello, so yeah. Oh, there we go. Hola. Right. I don't know why it's obviously erased itself. That's a pain in the bloody arse. Right. Oh, fuck it. Right. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I was wanting to let you see it. Let's turn that off. I'm impressed that that comes on, to be fair. It's been probably about 6 months since I used it. Um, what was I talking about? Yeah, people are saying, oh, yeah, yeah, it's not going to have, it's not a proper vector monitor, so it's using as an LCD screen. It's not going to look the same. But here's the thing, unless you're lucky enough to have a Vectrex like I have, or you can afford to buy one, you're never going to own a Vectrex. So having a small one like that is going to be the next best thing. And if they can pull off decent emulation with it, then great, great. It's not going to be the real thing, absolutely not. It's going to be kind of based on the original Vectrex. But if it makes people happy, then great. I personally think it's going to be quite expensive, but we'll see. Anyway, like I said, I can't stand. There's one thing that I can't stand in this hobby is haters. You get these purists, these hardware purists who go on about it's not real, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's not real, but so what? If somebody buys one and they get a bit of enjoyment out of it, then that's great. That's absolutely fantastic. Sorry, go and just like, nah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In fact, yeah, I'm going to turn this back on again. Um, the thing is, if it's done that, it means that it's completely erased itself. I'm trying to remember what one. Sorry, it's got me thinking now. I'm going to see if I can bring this to life. Do you remember when? Do you remember when Apple had plugs like that? Mental. That doesn't want to focus. Hang on. Oh, that's the wrong thing. You said I would. You said I would. Don't think that's going to charge using a USB and a PC, but we'll give it a go. Right, hang on a second. Yeah, that's 86%. That is impressive. Right, hang on a second. I just want to see if I can activation lock email. Right, let me just put that in. I'm convinced that'll be annoying because if that's erased it, the chances are the app that I'm talking about is no longer available, which means I've lost it, and I'll be extremely pissed off because there's no reason for it to have erased itself like that. You know what's annoying? This iPad is probably 15 years old, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But because Apple decide to slow it down, where's the at sign? Where the hell's the bloody at sign going? Oh, there it's there. That's hotmail.com. Yeah, because Apple have decided to slow it down, you can't actually use it. Right, let's see if I can get my Apple password. But yeah, like I says, with the Vectrex, it's not going to be for the purists. It's not aimed at the purists. Purists are going to be people like me who are very fortunate enough to have one. If I didn't have an original one, then I would probably buy one. Right, let's have a look. Apple, 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 Apple. Oh, there it's up there. Right, okay, let's see if this, you can guarantee that this is going to say, oh, password is not i5, password, W. How many times do you type a password in and it comes up correct first time? I'll tell you, never. Oh, wait, dancer. There we go. Fantastic, folks. Fantastic. It's worked. I've just logged in and it's now. There we go. I'm hoping you can see this. Hope you can see this. Right, so it's a really nice interface. Yeah, this is great. I know it's a bit blurry. Right, let me get the yeah, what you can do, which is really cool, you can move along. You can sort of like, if you want to play how do you play a game? Play. There we go. That's playing. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, I mean, look, that looks all right. You tell me that looks shite. That is great. Where's the fire button? That is so good. You can have the filters on. Oh, now, if you've got a Vectrex, you will know that that is actually really, really, really good. Look at it. There you go. There's a mini Vectrex. Never mind. Yeah, they want to look. If I was the guys that were making that, I would get in touch with the guys that made that. Oh, I'm actually really, really happy that this thing's come to life again. Wow, there's bloody games that I can't remember. God, Cut the Rope. You remember that one before adverts took over? That is great. I'm really, really. I need to start playing that again. Oh, my daughter absolutely loved this. Oh, Hex Defense as well. Wow. See this game here? I loved that. It's a tower battle game, tower, whatever it's called, and then it just disappeared. And yeah, I've still got it, so that's why I'm always going to keep this. So there you go. There's an iPad 3. It's worth bugger all. But yeah, for this Vectrex thing, it is the dog's bollocks. Right, listen, I've been talking for way too long. I need to leave in about 5 minutes. Um, I need to get going. Let's have a look. I heard that the 1200 Mini, is that actually going to be coming out? The thing is, Keith, that one there, you can actually use a Bluetooth. I'm gonna actually do a video on that because it deserves a video. Um, yeah, if that is still, I mean, I understand the reason people want a Vectrex Minis. They want to have the hardware. But yeah, I'm going to do a video about that. I'm really, really, really chuffed that that this is working. That is bloody awesome. My daughter used to play a game. What's it called? Where is it? Oh, what was that game that she used to play? Oh, I've even got AC/DC Pinball. Let's see if that works. Yeah, how cool is that? And this is a ancient iPad. It just goes to show that the iPad, there's nothing wrong with it, but because what do you call it? Apple are a bunch of bastards. They like to lock it down. They bring out an update and then you can't thing with it. Yeah, Commodore A1200 Mini. I don't really see the point of it because the Amiga 500 can do A1200 games. So again, it's not for me. Obviously, definitely not for me. Listen, the last thing I'm going to do before I get going, and I really need to get going. I'll let you go. I've literally got to leave in 5 minutes. I have got a question from the lovely Sandra, and I'm calling her lovely because she was really complimentary to me. Where is it? Where is it? Let's see, community. Sandra, where are you? There we go. Yes. This sounds like a question from my good friend Mr. Dave Campbell. Question for the man, the great Meme Meister. If you could bring one computer or console back from the past, so you would have it sealed and brand new, what would you like it to have, and why would you choose that over any other computers? What would you like to have? Right, what one would I like to open brand new? Um, I would say I was going to say the Commodore 64. That is my obvious answer. My heart says the main Meister. My heart says the Commodore 64 because that was my machine. But I would have to say the Vectrex. I can imagine how beautiful a brand new, spankingly new Vectrex would look. Yeah, that would be beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, there we go, Sandra. Hopefully that's all right. Like, listen, folks, I need to move my arse. I'm going to hopefully be back on Sunday night. I've just remembered I'm actually on holiday on Monday. It's a bank holiday, so I might do an extended live stream, whatever it is. I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do. So anyway, listen, I'm going to get going. Thank you for everyone, one person who's watched me on Twitch. I'm guessing it's probably somebody that's watching me on YouTube as well. So it's not actually a different person, but not to worry. I've just noticed I don't actually have. In fact, let me just do this right now. Waiting to start video. Hang on. Sorry, I was just I'm working on something. Hang on, waiting to start video. Sorry, folks. Just give me. In fact, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to mess about with it. I've not got the outro video yet, so I'm just going to have to hit the end button. So anyway, I hope you all have a lovely Friday evening. Have a great weekend, I says, and I will catch you on Sunday night. Till next time, guys.